I'm Kalula.com's in-flight magazine. You've been on magazines for Men's Health magazine. I don't care about any of that. It means nothing to me. At the end of the day, it's seeing people smile across the world about a hot sauce. And that's it.
Welcome back to another episode of KAK. Today we are having a very special episode. Unlike our other episodes, today we are actually chatting to one of our suppliers that has given us some lekker hot sauces to try out. So let me introduce myself. I'm Sheldon.
I'm Greg. What's up?
And the famous man on our left here is
just Derek.
Just Derek.
Everyone knows me as Johnny Hexburg, but at the end of the day, it's just Derek.
Awesome.
And the other half of mine is married.
Of course, yeah. You can't forget the other half of the operation, eh?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
She's the main brains of the operation.
There we go.
That's it. Yeah. So look, Derek, we've got a couple of questions lined up for you. I hope you will allow us to ask you these questions and give us a bit more insight into your operations and history and things like that. So the first question from our side is,
sure.
What sort of was the reason as to why Johnny Hexburg as a brand was a startup? What pushed you to starting Johnny Hexburg itself?
In 2015, we started actually, even before we had the company, we were doing a massive range of organic sweets at that stage. And that was at the Lawrence Pit Wine Estate. But I was selling Eric Todd sauces back then in 2015. And many customers were coming up to me and saying, don't you have a bigger variety? I'm looking for a plum sauce. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the wife and I sat down and we decided, well, you know what? Let's go to all the shops and go and see the varieties of what there really is on the market.
Yeah.
On the SA market. We didn't find a plum sauce. We didn't find a Mozambican sauce. We didn't find Louisiana. We didn't find so many other names and brands of sauces where people might be interested in different flavors and different types of sauces, basically.
Yeah.
So the wife and I sat down and we thought, okay, well, let's start our own thing and let's make a plum sauce in between selling Eric Todd and let's see how it goes. And we made our first batch. It sold out the first day, made again, the next weekend sold out. And then we decided that's it. No more Eric Todd. Let's start our own thing. And that's how it started in 2015.
2015, eh?
Yes,
yeah. I guess, with these sort of things, I think the exercise you did was exactly right in finding a gap in the market where, there is a demand and things like that. So, yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and now it actually comes full revelation, I guess, for you, because now, as you've taught me, you're going back into sweets as well, but now with more the chili side of things as well, which is quite awesome. So you're actually making like a full revelation back into it. Yeah, that's very awesome. True. Yeah. So, Derek, tell us, where exactly is your company situated? You obviously don't have to give us your real address, but like the province.
That's perfectly fine.
Where you're situated, yeah.
We're in the Western Cape and we're in Muizenberg. So basically we are about 3 extra kilometers away from the beach.
Oh, really? Oh, that's really awesome. So any reason in particular why you chose that location, or was it just because you stayed in that area?
Well, for my kids, they enjoy all the water sports type of thing. I enjoy fishing. As I go outside of my gate, I can actually go and fish, which is about 100 meters away from my front gate. So I can walk there. The scenery, the safety, number one, but also it's a community-based area where everybody actually feeds basically off everybody else. It's probably one of the best areas, I would say, in the Western Cape. And that's why we just fell in love with it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's quite great. I think you're up next.
Yeah, look, I think I've been to Muizenberg once or twice. It's definitely one of the nicer areas. I do agree with you there. Yeah. I need to visit again. It's been a while, especially now this year. No, but yeah. Derek, another question.
You wake up in the morning.
Yeah, sorry.
Shoot.
No, sorry, you continue, Derek.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, you wake up in the morning and right behind you is this massive mountains. So you've got this view. The sun's coming up basically over the sea area. It's fresh air all the time. Cape Town is known to get exceptionally hot. So when actually Parow and other areas in Somerset West is up to like 38 degrees, it keeps a moderate over here to about 28 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is quite actually pleasant as well.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, next question. Right. So you've told us a little bit about your history in terms of, where the Johnny Hexburg brand came from. I think a further question, just building on that as well, is why did you choose the sort of chili way there? Because I think there are other avenues that you can explore. But for example, have you always liked hot food yourself and your family included?
The reason why we chose chili is because the amount of diversity there is in chili is massive.
Yeah.
A lot of people are narrow-minded by just eating a hot sauce, and that's as far as it goes. We've introduced a hot sauce infused CBD. We've infused a cannabis to it as well. We've done chili sweets and fudge, and we've done a whole array of items which incorporates great flavors of chili. So basically, it's opening up the normal actual public that chili is not just refined to just burning. It comes in so many ways and in so many different forms. And again, it's actually exciting. It's exciting having something different and realizing, it's got great burn, but a great flavor. But who would have thought it's a sweet or a chocolate or a piece of fudge? Who would have thought of using a hot sauce and infusing that now with CBD or cannabis, for argument's sake?
Yeah, exactly.
Or rock salt, for argument's sake, and infusing that now with the smoked, a smoky garlic, which actually has all your soup arts in it. So again, it's about actually flavor profiles and actually educating the public more to what you see and just checkers and pick and pay. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I definitely agree with you there. The versatility of it and the applications, I think, are endless. Just as a brain fart today, I thought, well, is anybody making chili Nutella? There's possibly products like that out there, but that's just one example of many, many examples, no, definitely.
Oh, yes. I couldn't agree more. Like, there's so much diversity in it. It's really pretty amazing. So tell us, Derek, how many sauces do you actually have in your Johnny Hexburg range? Like, you obviously know how many, but
58.
How many? 58. Jeez, that's quite a lot.
Yeah. With all these plethora of sources that you've come up with, you've told us before that the wife is the mastermind behind the innovations and the unique flavors and things like that, and especially things like your hottest sauces, your extreme hots. What are your sort of favorite sauces out of your range? I mean, I'm sure you have a few, or probably all of them, but give us an idea.
I've got to be honest with you, there's not really a specific favorite because at the end of the day, each market sells actually differently. Like we'll have a market at Route 44 and there you will do like your milds, your mediums and your super hots, but you will do X, Y, and Z of it. Then you'll go to Rannisich. People love super hots there and tourists as well. So more of the super hots will sell there. Flavor profiles, basically, I would say Louisiana is quite unique because it's exactly the same as your Tabasco. It's a quarter of the price. At the end of the day, it's got no sugar in either. So for diabetics and whatnot, it's up their street. Great flavor profiles on pizza, on salads, on oysters. Your Mozambican peri-peri is a great flavor profile as well. Also based upon the history of the sauce, where the lemon is actually prevalent first in the flavor. Then you get your savory afterwards, and then you get your heat, which is a subtle undertone of heat, not overpowering.
Sure.
For me, favorite sauce would definitely probably be my 7-pot Burgundy, and obviously my garlic ghost. That's me.
Yeah, it's something we still have to try, definitely, for sure. There's so many we have to get through though, but we will get to it, definitely.
Yeah, that's for sure. So out of those that you mentioned to us now, your garlic one and your 7-pot, you said Trinidad one, or Trinidad, sorry, I can't spell it properly, but yeah. Out of those two, could you possibly give us a little bit more history on those two? Like, how did you formulate those two? How did the idea spring up on those two? And yeah, just give us a little bit of history on those two that you really like.
My wife and I sat down and looked at each continent on the planet. Then we broke it down to small states and towns and cities. What's their favorite sources? What's the origins behind it? And what's the recipes for it? Now, Mississippi is quite well though for actually Louisiana sauce on that side, or Louisiana style, basically, okay? Mozambique, they've got a couple of variations in Mozambique of Mozambican sauce, but the difference is though, it lacked something in their original sauce where we found a way to put that special extra into it. And that's why, we've taken sauces from all over the world, replicated it and made it better.
And I'm guessing given it a South African flavor as well.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, sorry, that was just carrying on from Greg's last question. It was just something that I felt we needed to ask you there in terms of those ones. But so tell us, do you grow your own chilies or do you get them from the local community around you?
We grow actually all of our own actual peppers on the farm. And then also we go and contract with 2 other farmers as well, which is in Paternoster, and the other one is in on the banks of the Vaal River. And that's in massive domes. Then for the small guys locally in the Western Cape, or the hobbyists, we buy from them as well, because many of them don't know how to make sauce. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people think it's easy to make a sauce. There's a science behind making a good sauce, from its viscosity to its pH to its blah blah blah, etc. All those things have to be taken into account. I've seen people make sauces, but how the shelf life is off, or they'll make it and it's got no flavor but just heat. So at the end of the day, a lot of these small growers actually email us and say, listen, I've got X, Y, and Z. Are you able to buy from me? Yes, we'll buy from you. So we try and actually support as much local as what we can.
Yeah, that certainly sounds like a very efficient hand-in-hand method. We all in the South African community, we have different expertise areas and things like that. You've got the source expertise and definitely a lot of the growing side as well. But as you mentioned, these hobbyists, I think, you get peppers from them and, you give them perhaps tips on how to make sauces and that. And definitely, sauces, beyond a doubt, it's more of an art and a science than, just whipping up a batch of blended chilies and mixing in garlic. I'm sure, I've never done it in my life before, but while we sort of exploring this avenue, it's certainly something we're going to explore in future for sure. I mean, we have a blender. We just need some chilies. Yeah.
It's your turn to ask a question, I think.
So what I wanted to ask as well, building on, all these different types of peppers that you grow and all your different types of sauces, have you perhaps explored what sort of pairings are possible or what sort of goes well with various sauces? I mean, for sure, we're talking about steak, we're talking about, fish and chicken. I mean, these are the general meats in that, but I mean, let's not limit it to that. Let's also include perhaps some vegan style meals as well. What sort of pairings are you familiar with in terms of your range?
With our range, we actually, and that's the best part about our business. The reason why we do the markets is people every weekend they're saying, I'm making this dish. What sauce do you recommend? We'll tell them exactly how to make the dish, when to apply the sauce, and exactly the flavor profiles that's going to be actually giving. For argument's sake, our apocalypse sauce. A lot of people would actually want something to do with stir fry or tofu or Chinese or something like that. Now, the reason why we refer our apocalypse sauce is because we use a black bean paste in the sauce.
Okay, yeah.
Which actually is Asian inspired, which is going to give that whole tone to the dish. So what we do is we explain to each of the customers exactly. I love the cat.
Yeah, thank you.
Back again.
Yeah.
Oh, shame.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. The black bean paste, and that's traditional.
So the best part about it is, Yes. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, for argument's sake, on our mild ranges, if someone's doing a chicken, for argument's sake, I would say either a garlic or a caramelized onion, because the caramelized onion, and when to apply it on the chicken as well, so it becomes sticky, the flavor actually pulls in, but it's giving you exactly what you want. If you're doing a pork and you want something on the fat, you want the fat to be hotter than the normal pork, I would say the hot pepper lantern, or based upon the person's heat levels as well. So every person I see or customer I see at the market, I scrutinize the customer first. I would say, is your heat level from green Tabasco going down or red Tabasco going up? What dish are you making this evening?
Yes.
Is it hot for you, or is it for the entire family? And how to incorporate the sauce or specific sauce to cater for everybody's needs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, it's certainly, you know, with all the sources you have and all the different foods out there, I think the applications and, you know, limitations are absolutely endless. But yeah, those are some very interesting insights.
Endless, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It really is endless.
Like, for argument's sake, it's like we do a tropical range as well, which is basically a habanero strawberry, a habanero blueberry, habanero lychee, habanero granadilla, and we do a habanero strawberry. Now that becomes a coulis, how we make it, but that goes nice over Gino and Janelli vanilla ice cream. So you get a placebo effect of brain freeze, and then the heat of the pepper, which come through as an undertone flavor. Now that's the kind of thing you'll see in your high-end restaurants or hotels. But now it's trying to take that type of standard and incorporating it into the normal households in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, not a lot of people are actually familiar with putting hot sauce on the ice cream. I mean, anyone that you ask, if you say like, listen, try some hot sauce on
South Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They'll kick you out the door. They'll be like, "What the fuck? Yeah, he's walked over it, bottom sauce."
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same as having actually chocolate or chili chocolate sauce over steak or rump, which is done in medium rare. It's like, it's unheard of.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why we've got brands like you out there pushing your styles of your hot sauces, and that's why we love your brand as well, because you're actually going to the extent of going down these different avenues and showing people like, listen, there is other kinds of hot sauces that you can actually play around with and taste on different flavor profiles. It's not just Tabasco that everyone is familiar with. You know, you can actually try your hot sauces on ice cream, or like the sweeter sauces on your normal meals. So yeah. But building now on what you were talking about in terms of that flavor profile of your habanero and your habanero strawberries and so on, are there any future sauces that you have like going on in the mind there that you can maybe tease us with, just so that we can maybe give our viewership a little taste of what's coming down the pipeline of Johnny Hexburg?
We've got something new all the time. Each and every single month, something new is coming out. We've probably got about 4 or 5 different new super hots, which are coming out now in December. And then we're doing a collector's pack, but I can't say any more about it.
Yeah.
Confidential.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be so unique. It's going to be bought up all over the world. So no, I can't say any more about it.
Oh, that's a great sneak peek though. We really, really love that one, and we're looking forward to also checking them out as soon as they do come through. That would be amazing.
Sure. Yeah, so look, that certainly I think is very tantalizing, especially for our viewers that are going to be watching this. You know, I mean, because you've already got such a fantastic range in all departments, mild, medium, hot. You know, especially your dessert style sauces, I guess, you know, which you've mentioned that you can put in ice cream and all that sort of thing. So it'll be very interesting to find out what's to come. Yeah, so that basically leads me to my next question. You know, if you look back over the last couple of years, Derek, if you could pick a moment in time where, you know, under the Johnny Hexburg brand was, you know, a highlight for you or a special moment, anything along those lines?
You know, at the end of the day, there's so many things, but I'm not here to sit here and to brag about the accomplishments. it's about seeing people get tagged from the Ukraine, and you get tagged from Germany, and you get tagged from Australia, and people are physically telling you your source is something I've been looking for my whole life. I could never find. I can't believe the flavor and the complexity of the flavors is giving me exactly what I want. Seeing people smile is all I care about, honestly.
Yeah,
And that's the highlight of our business. So, you know, it's like if people say, well, you know, it should be like this, or, you know, you've been in um, I'm Cluedo.com's in-fight magazine. You've been on magazines for Men's Health magazine. I don't care about any of that. It means nothing to me. At the end of the day, it's seeing people smile across the world about a hot sauce, and that's it.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. And I mean, you know, there's definitely a global network of, you know, passionate pepperheads, as I say. You know, it's really, you know, I think take our hats off to that sort of view on the hobby of what, you know, growing peppers is, and the commercial aspect as well. You know, it's really humble for you to say that. I'm sure there's a lot of growers and manufacturers out there that pride themselves on being the best in the world and that sort of thing. But I mean, for us to hear that, you know, it's definitely unique and certainly eye-opening.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I must say, you've definitely brought a lot of smiles to our faces over here. Because I mean, the first time Greg ever introduced me to your range was the Carolina Reaper,
Yeah,
which we actually got it over here. And yeah, when he introduced me to it, I couldn't stop like crying because it was like it was quite hot, yeah. And you say that you've got hotter ranges as well. So I definitely believe you in that sense. Yeah, yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying those out as well. But so now, so building on to that last question that Greg actually asked you there, what is your biggest goal in Johnny Hexburg? It could be anything like you mentioned just now. Could be also creating smiles. But is there any specific goal that you were after when you started this brand, and has that changed over time? And do you have now a new goal, or have you set a goal that you still want to meet one day?
Our biggest goal so far takes time to get there. We now supply the whole of Europe, so we have a distribution system for Johnny Hexburg in Germany. The German website goes live at the end of this month, where they're introducing a clothing brand and all of our sources for the whole of Europe. We've just taken over now Australia as well with Dion Forbes now. And at the end of the day, I would love to be all over the globe known that it's handmade, handcrafted, organic, made in South Africa. And that's my end goal.
Yeah, that's a fantastic goal to have, I must say. And also at the end of the day, you know, it's great that you want to create such a big name, not just in South Africa, but also around the world, showcasing South African talent. Because at the end of the day, you know, there's nothing more amazing than heritage. And I think that you have a lot of pride in South Africa, a lot of pride in your sources. We can clearly see that with every single taste that or every single drop actually that we taste from your sources. So yeah, it's really an honor and a privilege to have you supporting our new show. And yeah, we really are grateful for all of the advice that you have given us so far. And yeah, for everything, for just guiding us in certain directions. We really appreciate all your time and effort that you've helped guide us in the right direction. And yeah, we're really appreciative of having you on our show, and all of your hot sauces that we have currently on season 1. And we're looking forward to seeing what comes between Johnny Hexburg and KAK. Yeah, I don't know if Rick, you got any closing.
Yeah, I mean, geez, we really only have unveiled, I think, the tip of the iceberg in terms of, you know, your fantastic ranges and things like that. We've got a bunch of sitting with us, and I mean, geez, I can't say that I dislike any one of them. And you know, as I mentioned, there's still a lot to get through, and I certainly look forward to that. I certainly look forward to, you know, having a lot more conversations like this with you, Derek. and you know, touching base every now and then. Maybe, you know, if I'm there in Cape Town on business, just coming in saying how's it, you know, just to check out, you know, what maybe reveal or see more of what you are about. Yeah. But again, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, and Haley's also coming to say bye.
Grand finale.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you know what? At the end of the day, it is a massive pleasure, and it's an honor for us to be a part of your business as well. You know, I'm glad to be starting this road together, so we can watch you guys grow and to become a brand known as KAK, and that's it. You know? And at the end of the day, you know, it's just nice that you guys are so fired up and enthusiastic about this, because who knows where this might end up going. It might end up being a show one day on KakeNet, the same as what they've got now with Ed Curry and all the other guys.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's been a pleasure to be a part of it. And if you guys have any questions with anything, please just shout. Remember, I'm human like you. We are down-to-earth people. There's no airs and graces about me. Johnny Hexburg's Johnny Hexburg. It's just that. But I'm just Derek, as is. That's it. So if you have any questions, just drop me a WhatsApp or chat away. I mean, I'll be the most easiest person to speak to, myself and my wife. You know, it's like I tell a lot of other people, keep it real and stay true to yourself. You don't need to prove a damn thing in life except through the products you make by hand.
Yes, exactly.
It says it all, definitely.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. So on closing, Derek, I just wanted to ask you, will you tell our fans where exactly they can find your hot sauces? I know currently we're busy setting up our website so that we can eventually sell your hot sauces through our website. But right now, I know that you've got your own website that you also sell your hot sauces through. But where else can they find you on the socials, and what else do you have?
If you log on to the website, you can see all the shops that we supply here in South Africa. Obviously, if you're abroad, we'll tell you where as well. In Cape Town, you'll always find us at the Earth Fair Market. You'll find us at the Route 44 Market, which is going to reopen again on the 16th of December. Hart Bay Market, it's all listed on Google as well. And then also at the Oranjestad Market, which is the biggest organics market in the Western Cape.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Apart from all the shops that we supply, it's nice to meet us face to face, and we can tell you a lot more about us and our products.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Greg and I were thinking of having a little bit of a road trip one day to come meet all the suppliers. So it would be actually quite fun to come and meet you face to face sometime soon.
Come, I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode, and we'll definitely chat to you again soon.
Don't forget to check Johnny Hexburg's sites out, social media, all of that.
Hell yeah.